Marky, now that you guys have had a little time, obviously, from yesterday, what are your impressions about maybe how difficult it was for this team yesterday,
Uh,
especially in those first two?
yeah, I mean they're a fast team and they forecheck hard, and I thought you know, they played a good game, and I think we didn't really come up to our standard, and we got a chance to correct that tomorrow.
I was going to say, like, it felt like they were playing at their best, but maybe it wasn't being met with your best kind of thing, right? And could balance things out a little more.
Yeah, I mean it's I feel like it's small details still. I still think a few bounces and a couple more saves, and then a team had a big chance, and at the end, and it could still go either. Playing wise, it wasn't our best, but result wise, you can't really steer blind on the shot clock or whatever, because they throw a lot of pucks on net. But result wise, I think with a free correction, I think we got a good chance, and there's a lot of belief in our locker room and the guys in the room. So we're excited for tomorrow.
How are you feeling physically after the workload last
Good.
night?
Yeah, good.
And I mean, how do you think the team is going to change narrative tomorrow of this series?
I mean, listen, there's, as close to, do or die right now as the playoffs. It's a great, atmosphere, and, these are the games you want to play, and I think, we're all excited to get back there again and get another crack at it.
You mentioned the shot clock, and, when you play Carolina, they shoot it from everywhere. So what's the challenge as a goalie and the mindset that you kind of have to be in as a goalie when they shoot it from all over the ice like that?
Just be ready. It's, pretty simple.
Marky, what happened on the play where you were swinging at Svechnikov, but you got Cody Glass? What was happening there?
Whatever everyone has been seeing, that's what happened. I mean, it's pretty clear cut, and I obviously feel really bad. You never want to see a teammate. It's a situation that didn't have to happen, and it's a heat of a moment play, and unfortunately, and it's felt bad for Glasser. You don't want to see or be the reason that anyone goes down, but hopefully it's not as bad.
In the heat of the moment, did you realize that you got Glass by mistake, or did it take a little bit after?
No, I mean, he was laying down right after. So,
All things considered, what did you think of the overall defensive effort last night in front of you?
no, the effort is there. I feel like right now when you look forward, you bury the game and you look forward, and tomorrow is a huge game for us, and I know we're all feel like we have a little bit more to give, and we're excited to give it.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, guys.
Pally, just your thoughts sort of how, things went for the group yesterday, and what needs to be done to sort of overcome maybe if there were some nerves or overwhelming from the group yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't great, obviously. There's a lot of room for improvement, but there was some good stuff we did. But yeah, obviously hard ring to playing at, and we knew that they will come out strong and hard. But yeah, I mean, this is just one game. Tomorrow is another opportunity for us, and we're a confident group here.
There's been times during the season where there's been maybe a game that you guys didn't like or an injury, and there's these moments where you've had to sort of rise to the next challenge. Do you lean on that, what you guys have done throughout the year, to meet that next game, right, and raise that level?
Yeah, I think so. The whole year was up and down, and then like emotional roller coaster with the injuries and stuff. So. And same thing with the last night game. So we just need to, take it easy today and relax and just come out ready and be better.
Kelly, what does this team need to do to establish more of an offensive zone presence, whether it's cycle or what can you do to generate more offensive zone time?
I think it's all started in our D zone with our breakouts, and then making the right passes, and execution is big for us, so we can get through neutral zone better.
How much was them and how much was you as a team? How much was Carolina preventing you from breaking out? How much was it just not clicking from a Devil standpoint?
I mean, I think it was like 50-50. Obviously, they're a great team, and we knew that it's going to be hard to play against them, but it was on us too. Like I said, we didn't execute well. We didn't win enough battles. So yeah.
Pally, there's a lot of guys who don't have a ton of playoff experience. We've talked about it a little bit. How important is that first game of a series to sort of maybe see what's going on and what is expected?
Yeah, I mean, some guys didn't play much in the playoffs. Yeah, it's important to just get into the groove. Sometimes it's loud building and overwhelming, but then you look at a video and then maybe you have more time than you think on the ice. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna be better.
Nico talked last night about trusting your instincts when the team is 5-on-5 to maybe generate some more ozone time. How have you felt about the 5-on-5 play, the team?
Until the third period wasn't good enough. Like I said, we need to be better. We're gonna look at some videos today and tomorrow and learn from our mistakes and be better.
Thanks, Valley. Pesce, you probably had, the most experience of knowing what to expect in that first game. How do you think, you guys handled that at first and maybe hopefully settled into it a little bit? And how shocking can it be to play a team like that?
Yeah, everyone knows Carolina hockey. They come out fast. They don't give you any time. They pressure all over the ice. So, yeah, they did a good job of coming out hard. And, I think next game we have to do better job of matching their intensity.
What does that need to look like for you guys, like in terms of matching?
Just winning more battles. Thought we kind of got outworked last night. Not a good feeling. So, thankfully, it's a long series, and we know how they're going to play. So. Hopefully we can match it.
Talking to Pally before, he was saying, it's been a roller coaster kind of year emotion-wise, and you almost have to draw on that in this moment and how you guys have risen to the next challenge every time. Is that sort of a main focus here?
For sure. Yeah, we faced a lot of adversity this year. We always seem to get out of it and come out stronger. So, like I said, it's a long series. Obviously, the first game didn't go as planned, but that's why it's best of 7.
The narrative has kind of been everything starts in the defensive zone, and you said just needing to compete harder. How did you feel like you were defensively or structurally defensively, and is it just those compete areas that need to be?
Yeah, I thought we were okay. Obviously, they had a lot of shots, but they shoot a lot of pucks, right? They shoot from everywhere. That's their game plan. I thought it was better as the game went on for sure. I think we win more battles, we'll get the puck out of our zone quicker and spend more time.
You've been on the other side of that atmosphere so many times. What was it like to come out and be on the other side of it?
I loved it. Yeah, I love that rink. It's fans are passionate, loud, and excited for their team. I always appreciate that. Yeah, the louder the better for me. It's why you play the game, right? Playoff hockey's the best. So.
The PK's been strong all year for the group, but yesterday, obviously, Carolina had some pretty successful power plays. What did you see on the PK and what they were doing on the power play that you can adjust to for bringing it through?
For one, blocking shots. They scored in that seam pass. We got to be aware of that. They're good at making those seam plays. Yeah, we got to be a little better, and I think we could be a little more aggressive as well, trying to take away their time and space, kind of just like the 5-on-5 game.
Do you think there has to be that commitment to blocking shots when you play a team like Carolina?
Yeah, I think in any game, regular season or playoff, there's got to be a commitment to blocking shots. Obviously, it's a little more intensified now. So, yeah, I think we could, do a better job with that.
When you spend your entire career with one team and you leave and then you find out you're playing them in the postseason for your first series against them, what's that experience been like for you, just sort of from the moment that things got set to now to actually playing the first game of this series?
Yeah, thankfully we kind of seemed like this series has kind of been aligning since December or whatever it was. So you kind of had a little time to mentally prepare for that. Obviously a little weird, right? Had a lot of great friends, and on that other side. But at the end of the day, it's a playoff series. There's no friends anymore until the series is over, and each team's battling to win.
Brett, what can you do in the breakouts? A couple of guys, Keefe, you mentioned being better at the breakouts. What's missing right now?
Yeah, I don't know. They come so hard. I think part of it is just trying to manage it, and whether it's skating a little skating on the puck a little more, or just getting the puck out. I think sometimes with them, they come so hard. If you kind of just get the puck out, you could beat them in transition. So we got to do a better job as defensemen managing that.
You think the team can build off kind of the third period? Nico's goal late in the second, and then that third period.
Yeah, no doubt. We team as a whole seemed a little nervous last night. A lot of guys' first playoff games, and obviously that's a tough atmosphere to play in. So like I said, got the first game out of the way. We all know what to expect now, and hopefully we can build off that.
Sheldon, if we can just start with yesterday, obviously you had some players go down with injuries. Just wondering maybe if you have an update or how everyone's kind of doing with this right now.
Yeah, no real update other than we're going to use the day here today just to get a better idea of where everyone is at and have a better sense tomorrow in terms of ability for people to play.
Now that you've had a little bit of time to sort of digest the game from yesterday, how do you kind of break it down, what needs to happen here? Because they seem to have their best game. You guys.
Yeah, I think there's a few different things that really stand out. Obviously, our ability to get out of our zone, which we knew was going to be a great challenge in this series, and I thought at times liked the way we were able to accomplish that, but clearly not enough. Mm-hmm. And when you don't get out and get through against these guys, they turn it on you, and it can turn into a barrage of chances or shots against. So that's what stands out. However, at the same time, as when you come into this series, you're going to have a hard time on the shot clock against this team, and that can get away on you and kind of lose sight of maybe where you're at in the game. As an example, I thought we could do a lot better in the first period of creating some offense of our own. I didn't mind a lot of our first period. I mean, there's 17 shots against in the first period, but only 7 at 5-on-5. There's 10 on special teams, which was probably the biggest issue of the first period for me. And again, another key to the series, given how important the special teams have been for us. So both our power play and our penalty killing weren't up to the task in that first period, and that really kind of let the game get out of hand. And then there's a few sequences there that allowed the second period to unravel. So I'll finish my sentence. But I just thought that liked our pushback in the third period. There's some things to build on there. But we're going to have to, above all, dig in more and be more competitive when the situation calls for it in these puck battles.
Apologies. What more needs to happen 5-on-5 to maybe generate more ozone time, generate possible power plays, to create those power plays for your team?
Yeah, you got to break out. You got to get out of your zone. That's the key to the series.
You mentioned some of the inexperienced playoff guys that you thought maybe were some of the guys who had tougher starts. Do you hope now that they've had a game where they know what that environment's going to be like early and they've lived it, that can help them get off to a better start?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's part of it, right? I mean, you go back and look at it. You look at it from the analytics standpoint. The Glass and Dowling lines were dominated pretty heavily. The play of their third line with the Kotkaniemi line there, and the Roslovic line gave it to us pretty good. From shot attempts and all those kind of things and scoring chances. Our other two lines did a pretty good job, and that's against two tough lines there. So we got to do a better job lowering our lineup. That's really important, and I hope that with some time and some adjustments to the lineup that can help us in Game 2.
Of their two big lines, which one, from a scouting and matchup perspective, which one is more difficult? Is it the Aho line because of the possession and the offensive threat, or the Stahl line because of the way they kind of lean on you?
Well, I'd say a little bit of both. Different styles. Obviously, the skill and dynamic nature of the Aho line can really hurt you. They're all three guys are tenacious on the puck as well. Stahl line's heavy. They're going to keep it pretty simple. You got to find your way through that. Yet, again, you look at it from an analytics standpoint. We created we created for what we did create. Bulk of it was against the stall line, so our guys got to be able to find their way through that and then manage. I thought we did a pretty good job for the most part at 5-on-5 against the Aho group, as I just described. It was Kakanyemi's group that really had their way with us and really took off on the shot clock when those guys were out there.
How do you like to manage your clubs during the playoffs? Do you take these off days as a period of recovery for the club? Will you have practices at all during off days?
Yeah, we will. Well, depends on the schedule. I mean, we practice 2 days in a row before coming out here, which that in itself, getting 2 practice days in a row is unique. I prefer the game-day skates, in the playoff series, and it's a 6 o'clock start tomorrow, but we'll still get a 10:30 skate, and it's a good chance for our group to get out there, fresh bodies, fresh minds. I think would be a lot more productive than anything we could get done today. We got obviously a number of guys banged up yesterday that we felt it was important to give the group a recovery day here today, and we just had a good meeting and chatted about a number of things, and we'll be reset for tomorrow.
You talked last night about the execution, which is something that you've mentioned a number of times throughout the year, but is there anything from the preparation standpoint that you guys can do to change up to help for Game 2 and beyond?
I think just our execution. I don't. This is not much of an X's and O's type of series. This is meat and potatoes. This is puck pressure on both sides of the puck. The team that is able to accomplish that better than the other and put some stress on the other team's ability to break out is going to have success. We were able to do that in the third period and had success. Again, as I said, I'm sure there's some score effects in there a little bit, but that's sort of the nature of it. We got to break out a lot cleaner. We got to recognize we have a little more time than we think in a lot of cases, and we're rushing plays unnecessarily. Yet also, there's other times we've got to recognize you are under some heat and you got to get the puck moving. So that's the greatest challenge. It's harder to do in the playoffs. It's loud. It's competitive. There's more at stake, but that's why you value and lean on your veterans, and we're going to need them to step up and lead the way. And then our guys that have not as much experience have got to continue to get better in the series.
Sheldon, I noticed talking to some of the guys after the game yesterday, this real business-like attitude that this is Game 1, time to move on. You guys have had many moments during the season where something went wrong, and you've talked about how they've met their next moment. How much do you lean on that type of experience through the year going into Game 2?
Yeah, a great deal. That is one thing I really liked about our team and with how we've responded no matter what it is, whether it's a poor effort, poor results, whether it's injuries, whatever the case has been, our team has responded very well. We're going to be a lot better tomorrow, and certainly that's going to be required. It doesn't mean we're going to win. That might not be enough, but we're going to do everything that we can to put ourselves in a position to win. And what we learned yesterday is what the series is going to be like. It's one thing to talk about it and to watch it. It's another thing to get out there and feel it. The noise in the building and all of those sorts of things that come with playing on the road. All of those things I expect us to be able to handle much better in Game 2.
Thanks.